California's Democratic Lieutenant Governor is sponsoring a new statewide gun control initiative. Its Proposition 63 is set to be on the California ballots next month. It's designed to tighten existing gun control laws and to close loopholes, but opponents of the measure argue it's a burden. It's going to hurt law-abiding gun owners and do nothing to stop crime or mass shootings. The big question, though, is this is another attempt by the left to gut the Second Amendment. With me now, former prosecutor Alex Kincaid. Alex, thanks for joining the show. Proposition 63, essentially telling people they need background checks just to buy ammunition, banning certain ammo clips, turning certain misdemeanors into felonies, all associated with stopping gun ownership.
Absolutely, Charles, and thank you for having me. What is really striking to me is if you look at the voter pamphlet, which is the official guide for the California voter, it's supposed to be the truth, it's supposed to be fact and accurate. It has an opening paragraph that is misleading, and what it says is that under federal and state law, you can't have firearms or ammunition, you can't have firearms if you're a convicted felon or you're mentally ill, and then it has a follow-up sentence that says, but also in California, we have state law that says you can't possess ammunition if you are a prohibited person. Well, what does that lead the voter to believe? It leads the voter to think that California has some special law. That's not even true. Federal law restricts the possession of firearms and ammunition by people who are prohibited, such as felons or the mentally ill. So, this is already looking like something that is coming from the anti-gun community with rhetoric and misleading information for the person who really wants to know the truth.
And I think gun owners around the country should be intimidated or worried about this, because we've seen California as a test bed for these progressive ideas. Once it's passed there, it sort of makes its way throughout the entire nation. They've spent almost $5 million on this initiative. I'm not sure where it's polling, but if this goes through, it sets a new benchmark. I also want to ask you about this tape. James O'Keefe was able to videotape Senator Russ Feingold discussing Hillary Clinton using executive orders to close loopholes, to shut down the sale of bullets, to rid assault weapons, or what they call assault weapons, executive orders. So in other words, she's campaigning on, hey, I'm not going to mess with the Second Amendment, but it sounds like she's ready to gut it.
Well, that's exactly what it sounds like, and we know that those are her wishes. Look, she's said it 100 times or more. She doesn't like guns. She doesn't like the Second Amendment, and if she had a magic wand and she could wave it and issue executive action to that effect, I have no doubt she would take it. But she doesn't. The president doesn't have that kind of power, and right now we have a Congress that would stop her. And I think what the people should be afraid of is if she is elected, who is she going to appoint to the court? You've heard it over and over now. If we have an anti-gun Supreme Court, we can be in trouble with the Second Amendment. How
do you think, then, you know the law very well, how do you think they would circumvent the Second Amendment, even with the right amount of justices on the Supreme Court? Wouldn't it still be difficult?
Well, no, it wouldn't, because what we have right now is a law that says that we, the individuals, have a right to have a handgun in our own homes. The Supreme Court has said that. And if you listen to the rhetoric, you will hear, oh, the Supreme Court's going to overturn Heller. That's not what's going to happen. What they will do is they will limit that decision. Look at what the Ninth Circuit did. A case came out of California, and it went to the Ninth Circuit, and the court said, yeah, the Second Amendment doesn't provide you any protection to carry a firearm outside your own home. If that case or a similar one makes its way to the United States Supreme Court and we have a liberal anti-gun court, now we could see the law of the land become, okay, Heller is still in place, you can have a handgun in your own home, but you're not allowed to carry it outside your own home if your state says you can't.
Thank you very much, really appreciate it.